When you look at a painting or colour photo, what do you see? Looking at a photo you plan to use for thread painting, you initially see particular colours, but as you begin stitching, you find that more and more colours emerge. What's happening is that your eye is adjusting to the minute variations of shade and tone that, initially, were unnoticeable. But once you begin working, you realise how essential they are to the overall effect of the picture. Taking an image we're going to use in the sunset demonstration later, let's explore the colours that you see, and the ones that you don't, and how you can use them to build your thread colour palette. This is the original image prior to being cropped or enhanced for printing. Strategic cropping of your photos will result in a balanced composition. But why enhance the image for printing? The reason I do this is because when printing on fabric on a home printer, there is usually some loss or degradation of the colour intensity when printed on fabric. Now here is the cropped and enhanced picture. When cropping, a useful approach is to use the rule of thirds grid of 9 boxes that will help you decide on a balanced composition. Always crop a picture with composition in mind. Enhancing a photo fundamentally means that I have increased the saturation. Saturation is the purity of the colour, and by increasing the saturation of a photo, we are increasing the purity or strength of the colours. In other words, as the saturation increases, you see more and more what the pure underlying colour actually is. Overdoing the situation, that is, increasing it too much, can make a picture look artificial. Nevertheless, for our purposes, which will be printing on fabric, we need to increase the saturation, sometimes considerably, in order to more easily see and translate the colours into a thread painting. So let's take a closer look at this picture in order to really see what colours are there. In this demonstration I'm using Photoshop Elements. However, please understand you do not need to have Photoshop Elements to create your thread paintings. Looking at this photo for the first time, several colours are immediately obvious. There's a range of oranges and reds and a few mauves, some blues and perhaps blue-grey, and black or dark grey for the silhouette. Let's play with the saturation to see what happens. When I completely desaturate the photo, it becomes grayscale only. All the colour has gone. Now watch as I gradually increase the saturation and take it well beyond what would be considered a natural look. At this point you can see that the mauves and the reds have become much stronger. At full saturation we have pure colour, and it certainly doesn't look very natural anymore. So I would scale this back a little before printing, yet keep the saturation stronger than normal. But what other colours are hiding in there? I'm going to use the crystallize filter in Photoshop Elements to show you. Already do you begin to see other colours? Let's zoom in and take a look. Now I can begin to see browns that I hadn't noticed before, and a much wider range of blues, pinks, mauves, reds, yellows and oranges. Are you already beginning to think about using a wider range of thread colour in your thread paintings? At first you might have chosen a quite narrow selection for this picture, but now I hope you're thinking more broadly. From a distance your eye merges the blocks of colour, and the same happens with your thread painting. By layering and overlapping thread colours, and placing them side by side, your eye will blend them together and create a more realistic impression. In case you're curious, this is the range of thread colours I ultimately chose for the sunset stitching demonstration. I hope this short overview of how we see colour helps guide you towards using a broader and sometimes unexpected selection of thread colours.